Alright, so when you open your Synchronize account, your latest script will pop open in the breakdown mode, and by this point you will have gone through the whole script and done all the element highlighting. Each page will have elements lined out on it. You will have put in an action line for each scene, and now you're ready to move into the scheduling mode, which would be up here, strip board, loading board. Now the first time you do this, you're going to get this set of questions over here. So to name the board, please name it with your name so that I know when you mail it to me. Of the 100-some students, I know which one it is. And we're going to sort the strips by set names. If you remember in the reading, it suggested that you group like things together, and since you have no other criteria at this point, you don't know where the locations are, you don't know what your actor's availability is going to be, all of that, you're just going to do it by sets because that makes the most sense. And if you have to make some changes later, so be it. And here, include day breaks based on 5 pages per day. As you note in the memo, I suggest, or rather, I require, 2 to 4 pages per day. That means that you will not schedule more than 4 pages a day, but you will not schedule less than 2 pages a day. That it should be a range between 2 08s and 4 08s per day. Now, this concept of estimating pages per day might be a little hard for you to wrap your head around initially, but that's why we measure the scenes in eighths of a page and then we add it up, because it gives us somewhere to start to understand how much work we can schedule in a day and actually get it done. You know, the old joke though is that if you schedule 1/8 of a page and the scene reads Atlanta burns, obviously it's going to take you more than a day to do that. On the other hand, if you have 2 people talking in a restaurant and that's all they're doing in 1 or 2 setups, you could shoot 10 pages a day. So it really depends on what you're doing with that scene, but just to start, we're going to go in here and we're going to put 4 pages per day, which means it'll be 4 pages or less. The computer will automatically insert those day breaks. And click Create Board. And here we go. Okay, so it has arbitrarily broken this up by set, and it has arranged them alphabetically. So there's really no other rationale for it other than it's in the order of the alphabet, and that none of the page counts will exceed 4 pages. And most of them are less. In fact, one of them is too low. 1 3/8 is not enough. That's the other thing I want to point out at this point, is that assume the crew is working for 12 hours. You are paying them for 12 hours. You want to keep them busy for 12 hours. So there's no point in dragging everybody out to shoot 1 3/8 of a page that'll be done by lunch. You want to keep them busy all day. We've decided on this script with this production that it's going to be roughly 2 to 4 pages per day. Average is going to be about right, and we'll talk more about that. At this point, there's a couple of things you want to do. First of all, you want to look at your sets and make sure that they're consistent in terms of description, that the Amanda's block is always Amanda's block, that you don't have Amanda's block, Amanda's stoop, Amanda's apartment on her block, Amanda's street. You want them all to be the same. Whenever we're on Amanda's block, it should be called Amanda's block so that the program will see it in this order. These seem to be pretty good, although down here I'll say this one, the corner of 8th Street and Avenue D, I'm going to move that up to be to have it read the same as these, just say 8th Street between Avenue C and D. So that is scene number 4. That means it's breakdown page number 4. I'm going to go back to the breakdown, page number 4. I want to change this to this. I'm done. Back to strip board. And now I'm going to, I will eventually move that up to the top, which I'll show you in a bit. The other thing you want to do now is the calendar. You want to set your shooting calendar so that the days breaks here will actually have calendar dates. So we are going to set the shoot for February of next year. And I'm going to start on a Tuesday. This is an old rule of thumb. If you're shooting 5-day weeks, Monday through Friday, don't start on Monday. Because if there's something you forgot over the weekend, you don't have time to go get it on Monday, you start shooting at 6 a.m. So start on a Tuesday, first day's 4-day week, that's nice and light, makes everybody happy. So the first day will be the 4th of February, Tuesday, and I'm using a 5-day week. That means we shoot for 5 days and we're off for 2 days in this case. Now we know which days are off because we set our calendar. If you click off days calendar, and our days off are Saturdays and Sundays, which is correct. This is all good, 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 good. I'm going to name this the L. Peterson calendar. Love it. Done. Bada boom. All right, and now we are going to get into the actual scheduling process. We're going to look at these days and see how they work and see if entire days don't need to be moved around. But right now we're just looking at each individual day as a unit of page count and logistics. See that this day is kind of light, but that's okay because it's our first day, so we're not going to beat everybody up. The second day exceeds 4 pages, so I'm going to move Alleyway down here. That makes this 5 pages, so I'm going to move this down to Amanda's block. This is getting to be too big, so I'm going to divide this. Let's see, move this down here. 6 and 1/8. 4 and 7/8, that's too many. So I'm going to look for a smaller scene. Let's take this one. It's only 4/8 of a page. All right. And 2 is 5. Let's move this one down here. Still too much. There's a big scene here, 2 and 5/8, so I'm going to move this down here. This is too much, so let's take the 6/8 one and move it back up here. 1 and 3/8, so we'll take the other 6/8 and put it up here. Let's take this one and move it down here. Okay. So you see what the process is about. I'm perfecting these days so that I'm staying within the parameters that we talked about of page count, more than at least 2 and no more than 4, but also keeping the blocks together. I'm not randomly moving things together just based on page count. So let's see, this is only 1 and 3/8. Let's move this here. Now it's 4 and 3/8. That's too many. So maybe I'll move this up here. That's too many. So your goal would be to proceed with making all these days as perfect as possible. I can see potential problems here right now. This one's too long at 4 and 6/8. This one's too short at 1 1/8. This one's good. So you want to get in here and look at these. I want to point out that, of course, we don't know our locations yet, because that's the actual place we shoot it. We have our scene summaries. Now, I went in here and just put text in here in every line because I didn't have time to break down every single one, but you would have in here the lines of what actually happens in the scene so that you'll know whether it's good that these things are grouped together. Our characters have numbers instead of their names in here, and you also, whenever possible, you would shoot the scenes in order. Like this one right here, I see we have 22, 25, and 24. Let's just move 24 up. It's always nice for the actors. It's going to be so out of whack anyway, as you can see, that it's nice if within a day they can at least have some continuity. So I'm not going to go through this whole thing because obviously you need to do some of that work. I do want to point out that the Pitt Street Pool day or days is best at the end because those are big scenes, lots of extras. Let's do them at the end when everyone knows each other and it's easy and we're as fast as we're going to get. I also might say that we would move Amanda's block stuff to the start of the schedule because starting on the street exteriors is kind of loosey-goosey, and it might be nice to do something more pinned down, which is the dialogue and sort of locked scenes at Amanda's block. So after you've done your schedule and you've got it as good as you think it's going to get, you go up here to Reports, One-line schedule, dates all, include, but we don't have any of those, black and white. Let's look at it. Report is ready to view. Here's my one-liner. The one-liner has some but not all of the information on the breakdown pages. It has the scene number, whether it's interior, exterior, day, night, where it is, the action line so you know what's going on, and the page count. You read from the black banner strips or the black day breaks up, end of day 1, end of day 2, and so on. So this is going to be what your final assignment looks like when you've perfected your schedule. This is one of the items I'm looking to receive. Okay, so in the next video, we are going to look at how to create a day out of days, which is another report. And let's have a little sneak preview here. We want to look at the cast, although you could do a day out of days for any item. We do want to apply drop hold rules. Everything else is good. Port is ready. And this shows me what days of the shoot this actor is scheduled to work, and when he's not needed on set that day, but he's needed again, it has H for hold. But that's just a teaser. I'll tell you more about that in the next video. See you there.